An unfaithful person does not have much to be proud of in life because one of its greatest virtues has already been destroyed. Character. Ingrid Tomazzia. Nadja Medley, a widow and mother of a 14-year-old girl, Peyton, had passed through enough. A few years earlier, she had lost her husband, and before that, she had lost a child, just months after giving birth. Nadja hadn't smiled in years, hadn't had fun in years, and couldn't imagine that one day she would be happy again. It was when she met Mike Bullinger in 2014, a commercial pilot living in Ogden, Utah, very close to Salt Lake City, that Nadja's eyes shone again. Mike had gone to the city to Nadja's spa, and the couple sparkled immediately. Mike was single and had not been in a serious relationship for over 10 years and embraced his new marital status immediately. He looked after Nadja as well as her daughter Peyton. He took them to lunch, dinner, to make walks, etc. Whatever made the girls happy, Mike made sure to provide them. The relationship between the three was so strong that Peyton even started to treat Mom's boyfriend as dad. There was a little note that Nadja made to her friends. They never spent the night together, but they disregarded it after all. Mike hadn't had a relationship for over 10 years, and maybe spending the night at his girlfriend's house, or vice versa, was a bit of a rush. In March 2016, when Nadja found herself distressed to pay the rent, she asked for the help of her charming knight. She had inadvertently seen a check issued to Mike for $10,000, its salary of just 1 month. But Mike was immediately startled. It was too fast and a step too big for the man used to being a loner. They gave the relationship a break. But Mike Bullinger didn't last long without his girls, and 2 weeks after the breakup, Mike invited them to move to his humble farm in Caldwell, Idaho. 20,000 square meters, 5 acres, with chickens, horses, green meadows, and a small farmhouse. Nadja and Peyton were beaming, and the woman, once unhappy, was sure she had found the man of her life with whom she would spend the rest of her days. Until the date when Cheryl Baker entered the main door of the farmhouse. It was Mike Bullinger's wife. Cheryl had just retired from spending most of her career at the Utah School for the Deaf and Blind. That day, in May 2016, she wanted to surprise her husband by appearing at the family farm. The details of that day are not known for certain, but it is known that a friend of Nadja contacted the Idaho police to report that she had not been able to contact the woman or her daughter for several days. The police were moved to the farm where Nadja was living and where, in a shed on the property, the bodies of Cheryl, 57, Nadja, 47, and Peyton, just 14, were discovered. The bodies were in a deplorable state, essentially because of the heat that was felt at that time. They estimated that the women had been murdered about 10 days before the discovery. Mike Bullinger became the sole suspect in these murders, and the search for the man began, and was immediate. About 3 weeks later, his car was discovered near a dense forest in Wyoming, a 2007 white Ford Focus, with Utah state registration 129 UMP. Jackie Garcia met Bullinger when they were both freshmen at Brigham Young University, Idaho, in the 1970s. The couple quickly fell in love, but Bullinger had been assigned to serve in Manila in 1976, and 2 years after returning, the couple married in Stock Lake City. The young man, after marriage, radically changed his personality by physically and emotionally abusing his wife. In the first year as husband and wife, Jackie was brutally beaten, asking for support for lines of victims of domestic violence, and the church they both attended. The couple went to therapy, and Mike began to be accompanied by a psychologist. In the midst of all the turbulence, the couple had 2 children, but after 10 years of an unhappy marriage, they separated. Very shortly after the divorce, Bullinger remarried, but again, due to his infidelities and abuses, the marriage was short-lived. It was after this second divorce that he met Cheryl Baker in 2004. According to those closest to him, it seemed that the couple was in love, and Baker made a point of telling her family how happy she was and how she considered her marriage perfect. However, and although Mike Bullinger also made Nadja and Peyton happy for more than 2 years, these women's worlds collided and ended when the women unintentionally crossed paths. Bullinger's double life had finally been discovered, and the man need not have seen any other way than to eliminate the injured. Mike Bullinger remains at large. There are those who defend that he ended up perishing to the conditions of the forest, where he is thought to have gone into hiding, or, in other theories, the man simply managed to escape from the authorities. In any case, the fantasies and goals of a perverse and degenerate man resulted in 3 deaths of 2 women and a child who were completely innocent.